And we are back following our conference finals loss to the Columbus Blue Jackets. A loss in which I'm catching a decent amount of flack for, which, I get it. But in a way, I also, I'm cool with it, really. The decision at one point to drop Huckins and then put him back, and it still didn't matter once we put him back. And then, of course, the decision to shake up the bottom six that was getting pummeled every game. Yeah, regardless, I'm cool with it. We were outmatched to begin with. If making this team better on paper by removing those who suck means it's my fault we lost, then hey, so be it. But let's be honest, we were completely outmatched anyway against Columbus. We weren't likely to win no matter what. So, yeah, it just wasn't our year. And apparently it was Edmonton's year as they beat the Blue Jackets in the final. So, there you go. The Edmonton Oilers taking home a Stanley Cup. Goes back to the Western Conference. Quite a few Canadian teams have won. I mean, for God's sakes, guys. Say what you want about, you made changes to the lines. I mean, we were going up against the best team in the league with the Hart Trophy winner, the Norris winner. Although Philippe Rayon won the Calder, which is tremendous news. I didn't even think to look. Did we look? I don't know, but yeah, there we go. Philippe Rayon becomes our first Calder winner. So there you go. It's not all bad. Things worked out. Oh, also Weidman won the Ted Lindsay. So yeah, again, we were probably screwed no matter what. We'll never know for sure. But that also just goes to show who might be new to the channel, because it's hardly a new thing for me to be like, oh, hey, yeah, we're winning, but hey, changes. Of course, we'll ignore the fact how we also won a game and nearly won two of them. But anyway, let's take a look here at the player development. Huckins is up to an 87 off of statistical growth, so that won't last. Rayon showing up as an 82 under said statistical growth. Not a huge amount of natural growth aside from Cesar Duchesne down in the AHL. Penner up to a 77 is decent, but yeah, you can see here a real absence of green improvements here. Tim Orr with some improvements. Raphael Lay looking a little bit better. Whew. I mean, Darby improved, but he's 22 and a low top six. So yeah, not our best season in terms of prospect growth here, which is actually a pretty bad sign heading into this draft, unfortunately. Obviously, we still have a few aspects of this team that really could be improved to help our chances of finding success, but it's pretty unlikely at this stage that we're going to get those big-time players that will actually be able to help us find that type of growth. So Aaron Ekblad leads the defensive class in terms of retirements, but again, regardless, we'll see what happens here. Again, the team overperformed at pretty much every stage of this season. But, hey, I mean, Jesus, we gave up, 10 goals in the last two games, I think, combined? Anyway, let's see what happens here. We'll go and look at the draft class to kick things off, and indeed, Dubois was available. We're not going to get him. It would have been nice, but it's not going to happen. The hope is that Garrett Keefe is there, but he doesn't look that good. So Noah Goodbranson would have been nice. Dubois would have been nice. We're not going to end up with either of them, which isn't that surprising. And actually, I mean, we're picking 29th, so I have no idea who the hell we're going to get here. As Dubois went to Montreal. Go figure there. Good spot for him, I guess. Goodbranson goes to Vancouver. And Keefe went to Toronto. Go figure. Well, let's see if we can find a bit of a steal here. Of course, losing the conference final pushes our first round pick way back. Drummondville is not available to us, nor is Chicoutimi or Val-d'Or. So Keaton Kilger is looking like our best option. Then Mauricio Moses in the second round, and Bernard Papineau later on. So we're going to take the American here, Keaton Kilger. This is shaping up to probably be our worst draft in a while. He has a Bouwmeester comparison, which is solid, but let's see how good one Keaton Kilger is. Yeah, medium top six. We had a better pick than Winnipeg, though. So we got that going for us. I have a feeling the draft isn't exactly going to be the most amazing part of this episode, which is a shame. Yeah, Mauricio Moses is the next pick, 18 years old. 3-year ETA, hoping for like a high 9 or something. That'd be kind of crazy. No, he's a medium top 9 as expected. So, I mean, 2 okay picks, nothing great. Another medium elite was selected just before our pick here. And we are looking at Bernard Papineau. And then we'll probably get Javon McAmmond after that. There's also, Antoine Broussard has a little bit of potential. Okay, as does Logan Boyce for Cape Breton. All right, well, hey, let's go for a goaltender here. 19-year-old Bernard Papineau could have a very high overall 1-year ETA. I'm expecting like a 72, 73. Whew, he's a 74. I know he's only a fringe, but all right, that gives us a pretty good option in goal. Moving forward, that's pretty solid. That's one of the highest rated goalies I've ever seen drafted. And next up, we have Javon McAmmond or Broussard. And obviously, we're going for Broussard. It's not even a question. The 20-year-old overager, I mean, that overall is going to suck, but we need to take someone with that potential. So Broussard, welcome aboard. He is a 56 at 20 years old. Highly unlikely, of course, that he ever makes it. And actually, here, let's go back and double-check who we could have selected. McAmmond was a medium bottom 6, so we did pretty well. I mean, either pick wasn't going to be all that great. So Logan Boyce is available to us. Aside from him, we have Drew Dollywall, Damian Shantz. Let's sort by potential here. Maurice Durand, hello. Well, we got to make sure we end up with him. Of course, Blainville's not available. Victoriaville. Billy Ladd is there. Okay, we have some options here, which is at least somewhat promising. You know, thank God we at least have options. Half the time at this stage, we don't get options. I mean, I think it's obvious we take Maurice Durand, but who are we taking here in the 5th round? We don't have to take him this early. So Marc Ouellet, 19 years old. Not looking all that promising. Maxime Fichaud could be decent. Not that we need another goaltender. Logan is going to be another high overall goalie. There's also Jude Rawlings, who's kind of meh. There's Damian Shantz, who's kind of meh. Dollywall's going to suck. And then there's Ladd. I think we have our 3. Although Shantz is probably gone, so we probably won't take Logan. We got to take Logan here. So we'll take the goaltender. When in doubt, take the goalie. 67 medium backup. That's incredibly disappointing. I would have rather had the forward, who is going to be gone. Yep, so we'll take Maurice Durand here with this pick, who is a low elite, 48 overall. That's promising. Someone who might actually be able to make it. And then our final pick, let's go for Billy Ladd. Not expecting much. And indeed a medium bottom 6. So, yeah, it obviously wasn't the best draft in the world. That's not surprising. It's really to be expected. The big question is, what is this team going to look like heading into next season, and whether or not we can kind of have a repeat of the luck that we had this past year. So goaltending-wise, we have DeBow, Russia, Cousineau's still here. I mean, yeah, we can basically just sign everybody. So let's bring back Geet. Let's bring back Penner. And we can sign Morgan to just kind of hang around. Defensively, Hugo. Oh, boy. Yep, we knew that was going to be a big boy deal. Obviously, we lose Hugo Laflemme. We are in a lot of trouble. Let's see here. Who's even worth signing? Jesus. This is problematic. I think based off of the numbers and how many defensemen we actually have, everybody's going to have to be signed. Just bring everybody back. You know, I will say the one thing that's sticking out in my mind, though, with that draft is just, man, how one one player could have potentially made the difference. And I mean, Columbus, obviously, I'd love for this to be the Stanley Cup final episode. I just genuinely don't believe that changing up the bottom six. Like, obviously, what we did in the final 2 games where we're just like, throw everything at the wall, I can understand if you disagree with that. But changing things after losing game 3 and heading into that series with the slight changes, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I disagree with that. Disagree with those moves upon reflection. But let's see what we have here. Mr. Huckins needs a new deal. Jesus. Okay, well, Cole wants to be paid, and Cole shall be paid. Let's see. Duchesne will be signed. Gotta sign a lot of these dudes up. Half of our team is trying to leave. Washington will be signed. You know what? Here, let's just do this. You pretty much know who we're gonna keep. You know there's gonna be some big money moves. I'll see you guys in the preseason and show you what our roster is gonna look like. All right, so here we are, the preseason. The team has been set. Before that, though, I want to get you a look at our new staffing department because, yeah, this NHL team is ridiculous. And really, you'd hope that it would boost us up just a little bit in terms of making this team a little bit better. And to be honest, maybe that's a big part of what last season was, is our coaching staff is top-notch, so it might boost up some people. But regardless, this is the team. Philippe Réaume, Rookie of the Year. I don't feel like we have made a big enough deal of that. A 4th-round pick won Rookie of the Year last season, and hopefully, even though he's definitely not a sniper, he's more of a two-way, hopefully he has a good season this year, now being an 84 overall, next to one Zach LaRue, who is 30, which is scary, and Cole Huckins, who is also 30 and getting paid a boatload of money, but at an 89 overall right now because of statistical growth. Easy for me to say. Of course, we have a +3 there. Corazzini's on the second pair because otherwise it'd have to be like +1s across the board, so it just makes sense. But Wes Corazzini is going to be alongside Aiden Hannon and Jaden Hines on the second line. So the top 6 is solid. The third line's okay. Cesar Duchesne is there alongside Pascal Duchesne and Jacques Lapierre. And Johan Loshing, of course, alongside Justin Gill and Guy Boucher. So, say what you want about the mix and match of the prior offseason, but there's no denying now that this team is still in a better spot. And it was worth, my opinion, of course. There was no long-term damage done by saying, oh, Hines is underperforming, Réaume's underperforming, let's drop them, try to get people into that role that could do, a little bit better. And of course, we saw last offseason with some of the pairings that work out pretty well for this team. We'll see what happens. Defensively, it's still not the strongest in the world. Leroy's up to an 85, though, which is very nice. We're obviously still missing a little bit there on the defensive side of things, but Columbus's defense was arguably worse, and they still made it to the Cup final. And then, of course, we have Cousineau and Geet as the 1-2 pairing. Russia still in the NHL, but he will be a healthy scratch. The AHL, honestly, is just kind of a mess. We don't really have too many top-notch prospects that are here. I have no choice but to run a plus or a -3 on that third pairing just to get those guys to play. So, unfortunately, the team, as you see it, is kind of the team that needs to get the job done. We are better suited this season to win than we were last season. But again, it's just kind of the overwhelming thing of the episode. I'm content with Columbus having beaten us. They were the better team. And the comment section, for the most part, was, oh, Tugi, you screwed it up. So, hey, time will tell if we're able to get back there. But, like I said, hopefully this season we see players who are in ideal roles not underperform. That's really the ideal situation, isn't it? Réaume, off the top line, had no business underperforming the way that he was. So on and so forth. But to look here, overalls for the season, 82, 81, and an 80. So we are incredibly well-rounded, obviously outmatched by some of the high-end players, however. So, next episode, we will sim through this season. Kind of a shorter episode today, but it is what it is. We'll be back tomorrow, hopefully, with another one where we'll see whether or not we're going to find ourselves back in the playoffs.